All right, so first we have a first timer. You want to say?
Yeah, Ollie Lamas, can you come up here?
And in the meantime, on deck we have Leah Wesser and Karen Nas. I'm probably butchering your name. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, there were titles. Talk, please help. Tips for introducing Python in non-coding classes. That sounds great. And Leah is, it's all folded.
Okay, great.
So. From code to community. All right, you two on deck. And okay, first timer, would you like to spin the wheel?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, he says sure.
Wow. He chose already.
I don't want to lose.
Okay,
Notes,
great.
Okay.
I love that we got this. The newest, latest and greatest today is we have a dance move on the wheel, which we just landed on.
Okay.
So at the end of your talk, you have to bust a serious dance move.
A serious
okay?
one?
Yeah, one that you would see someone across the room and really bust a move. You made your bet, so now you have to lie in it.
I got it. All right. Is this? Yeah. Okay. Is this thing on? All right. I am going to do a talk about how I pick my dog. This came up in the morning run. I did not plan on doing a lightning talk here. This is old code, but I've reshared the repo, and you guys can go into it if you want. Picking a dog is an important decision. You live with that animal for a long time. You can choose, you can go to a rescue, but you can also pick a breed. So being a data scientist, I wanted to have some rigor behind this decision. Sadly, you cannot use GitHub star history to pick the dog. This is two repos you might know. If anyone can guess, I will do another dance move. But no, you cannot use the star history. But what you can do is you can use the American Kennel Club. And they have a find the best dog breed for you search thing. And it's kind of annoying. You put in your criteria, you're like, I want a highly trainable dog. I don't know who selects I want a stubborn dog, but clearly that's an option. But you can select a bunch of parameters which determines your ideal dog, they think, for you. And you get, maybe I want a Portuguese Podengo. I don't know where you get one of them from, maybe Portugal. Yeah, you can get your dogs like this, but it's kind of obtuse. There's lots of breeds out there, and you don't know what's being hidden, how this algorithm is, feeding you Labradoodles or Frenchies, or getting you to the kind of breed you actually want. So what I set out to do was scrape all this data. This clearly exists in this website. I can access these attributes like barking, size, grooming frequency, shedding, energy level, trainability. I can access all this and start to explore the data myself. This is the repo. I've now made this public. I made it private because it's kind of weird when you work in ML and AI, and this doesn't make any sense on my repo, but hey, it's now public again, so you can look at it. It's beautiful soup, just scraping the AKC website. It's probably totally out of date and doesn't run, but hey, it's there if you want to look at it. This is the data. So I don't know how much time I've got, but if anyone wants to look up a breed or has something they want to look up, we can do that live. So here it is. You can also sort by score, so you can see bearded collies suck. And you can see the Bergamasco sheepdog is the goat. This is really fun because you can start to think about what things matter to me. For me, size was important. I live in a city. I do not need a big dog in an apartment. So you can filter by size, and then you can start to look at the things you care about. Life is an interesting proxy for genetic issues. I don't rank by this. It feels a little bit cruel, but it is there. So yeah, this exists. If anyone wants it, I'm happy to share it. You can explore any breed. Does anyone want to shout out a breed to see a breed? Okay, I heard Beagle last. Here's Beagle, a 2.6. They suck. Whip it. I don't know if, wait, what? WHI? It doesn't want it, sorry, it might not be there, but we go Italian Greyhound, pretty highly ranked. All right, I am gonna go back because I need to finish this. Okay, what did we get? We got Rooney, a Cotton de Tulia. This is the dog I got, and she's great. She's now like 4 or 5, I forget, because I have a kid, and that's my most important thing now, so it sucks to be her. But if you want to get really weird with the breed you pick, you can also say to an AI, your favorite AI, what would my breed be if it was a human? And it now gives me Rooney as a human. Her vibe is effortlessly charming. She's someone who shops vintage, always has a tip of lip gloss in her pocket, and somehow makes everyone feel special around. There you go. I will finish on that. I can't do the splits.
Okay, next up, can we get Carol Willing?
On deck. Yeah, Carol is on deck. So Leah is now. No, Leah, you go up. What?
Yeah, Leah's up.
Continue. I'm so bad with this. No, Cara, yeah, you go up next.
The claw.
The claw.
Do you want 2 claws?
Okay, got this. Good? Okay, thanks. Hi, everyone. I am Leah, the executive director and founder of SciPy. I want to talk to you today about the power of community. So in 2015, I was converting a class from R to Python, teaching geospatial data, big data sets, think Xarray, think GeoPandas, think raster.io. So I wanted to create a reproducible environment so my students could do their work in the cloud. And what actually happened was I installed raster.io, yes. I installed GeoPandas, yes. I tried to install HDF5, and then it had a conflict with something else, so then I uninstalled HDF5, and then I uninstalled raster.io, and then I tried to fix GeoPandas, and then I reinstalled GeoPandas, and guess what? It never worked. Pixie! Where was Pixie? Where was Pixie? I was very sad. So, one of my friends introduced me to the person that made this meme, Felipe Fernandez from Conda Forge. We love Conda Forge. And what Felipe taught me was that there's a better way to do things. He taught me about lock files. He taught me about creating environments that had spatial data packages that would work in different places. And all of a sudden, my students were happy and I was happy. And I wish I had the claw back then too, but I didn't. So what I learned from that experience, because this could have broken my desire to teach Python to students, because things weren't working and no student's going to have a good experience if they're trying to install stuff and they can't even open a terminal with Python. Developing shared workflows alone is hard. But developing shared workflows when you have a community around you is super awesome. Community is this really powerful thing that can help you solve lots of really hard problems. And without community, there's some instances where you might have people that leave and don't use Python and don't have that experience. So PyOpenSci is an inclusive community of practice that broadens participation in scientific open source by breaking down social and technical barriers. My arm's getting tired. We provide a support system that you can lean into when things are hard and when you're trying to figure out things. We have open conversations on tricky topics like ethical AI and LLMs and packaging, and we have those conversations even when we disagree without judgment. We harness shared knowledge to develop open education resources that are accurate, that are beginner-friendly, that are accessible, and we're even translating them now into different languages. We run an open and inclusive peer review process that anyone can participate in. And as of today, we have 47 packages in that ecosystem, and over 300 contributors have contributed to both our peer review process and our community resources. A PyOpenSci approved package is vetted, it is trusted, it is documented, it's maintained. I'm really getting tired. And it's developed by someone who cares about open source and cares about researchers using and reusing their software. Now, we don't just talk about software at PyOpenSci, we also talk about dogs and cats and flowers, and one dog in particular that really likes to roll in fresh cow poop. I don't know whose dog that could be, it's not mine, actually it is mine. She's over there, the black one. We've built a packaging guide that's beginner friendly. It's been translated to Japanese and partially to Spanish. We're going to be sprinting on that, among other things, this weekend in the sprint, so please join us. Over 80 people have contributed. So with that, I invite all of you to join us at PyOpenSci. This is a QR code that will take you to our Slack. If you'd like to join us there, you can become a reviewer, you can become an editor, you can help us develop education content. We would love to have you get involved, or you can just shoot me an email to learn more about getting involved with PyOpenSci, because community is awesome. Creepy Claw coming up. Oh, claw fight. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. All right, so coming up now on stage, we have Kara Nas. I think so, that's the last name. And then Carl is first on deck, and second on deck, can we get Andrew Huang? It's a talk about panel, build easy interactions. What happened with the wheel? Okay. Okay. Would you like to spin the wheel?
Sure.
Okay. Didn't seem like it, but I should ask you something else. All right. You still landed on the same one than before. That's a -2, but if you make an animal noise, can I get an animal? I hear a snake. So you can do a snake, a Pythonic snake. Yeah. Then you get 1 minute back. So still.
Okay. So, hi everybody. I'm Kara. I don't have dog pictures. I didn't know that was a requirement. I've got a cool turtle picture. I don't know if that's kind of like a snake. I'm from Northeastern Illinois University. We're in Chicago. You've never heard of us. We're tiny. We serve, I think the line from one of the vendors out here was overlooked and underserved. Those are our students. I teach an intro bio class. If there are biologists here, this is your second semester of Gen Bio. We do ecology, evolution, and we introduce analyzing your data. We've done different versions of the semester-long project. Right now, we're looking at effective fertilizer on sugarcane growth. We're teaching basic statistics, descriptive statistics, t-test, line graphs. We've done it in Excel and Google Sheets for forever. And I said, finally, let's try, can we introduce students to a little bit of coding, show them what maybe they can do, maybe get them interested in learning a little bit more. Most of the students had 0 coding experience. Many of them have never taken a stats class. There's no math prereq at all. Right, I looked at stuff that was out there, existing stuff. It seemed either geared toward too young of a user or it was too advanced. So I wrote collab notebooks, trying to incorporate the code with a basic explanation of the statistics. We used about 6 hours of lab time, 3 2-hour periods for them to work through it. My idea was that we would go through examples, kind of scaffolding where they started doing more and more of the code. And then eventually I would give them a notebook with some starter code and they could use it to analyze their own data. And then ideally, they'd keep using it and they'd use that same process and make comments and document what they were doing and apply it in their future biology classes. We also wanted other bio faculty who don't do any coding to be able to use the same approach in their classes. That was the goal. If you would have asked me after the first day of doing this in lab, this icon would have been a dumpster fire. It got a little bit better, but initially the students expressed anxiety and doubt, and they were almost paralyzed by it. A few voiced that they did not sign up to learn to code, that this was a bio class. Some students made a lot of progress. They became more comfortable. They worked on their own. They troubleshot things. Right now, about half of them have analyzed their data using the provided notebook. So there are lots of really smart people. Would you please come talk with me later? Tell me what you've done. There was a great talk yesterday in the teaching and learning track about mood and how that affects ability to learn. I'd love to talk more about mindset and introducing this kind of stuff. That's it. Thank you.
Everyone is so on time. It makes our job easier.
I better
Boring.
be.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So we have Carol and
Carol, go
Andrew.
overtime so we can chase you off.
Do you know this is my first lightning talk at SciPy?
Nah.
It is.
The pink
this
slip
SciPy.
says
It
otherwise.
is totally. But I
But you-
kind of want to use the claw.
Okay,
Sure.
sure.
Go for it.
Can I also spin the wheel?
You can.
Yeah, you can play with all the
There's
toys.
not a real good thumb hole in here. Just
Can
so
we
you
also-
know, if those of you that have to use the claw later, there's not a really good thumb hole for the claw part.
Modifiers on modifiers, though. This is
What?
intense.
You get to spin the wheel. You get to do whatever you want, Carol Welling.
I win!
Okay,
No.
you also have to do a
Oh,
dance move.
gee.
A dance move.
I will wait for the very end to do the dance move.
Okay.
If that's okay.
And before you get started, can we get Jonathan Starr to come up? Open source needs an endowment, so we built one. Are you here,
Are you in the room?
Jonathan? Okay. Okay, cool. Go look for him. Take it away.
All right. So some of you have asked me, how have I gotten so where I am in Python or in scientific Python or in life in general? And it's 2 words. So we're going to share a little bit about improv, which is your SciPy superpower. So I want to take you back and set the scene. SciPy 2014, we're in this conference room, classroom, and the topic was, how do we get SciPy to be more welcoming and inclusive? And at the time, I had my daughter with me, and she was a sophomore in college. And I said, well, I think you just need to start with the simple, let's say hi to each other and be polite. And everyone in the room, including my daughter, started bursting out laughing. And they're like, you know, we're tech nerds. We don't say hi. And I said, yes, and I understand it can be hard. However, you know, especially for introverts. But I said, I believe that you can say hello. And as evidence, you guys can. So step 1, another scene from probably 2014, 2015 at SciPy, at the couches, there were a bunch of IPython Jupyter folks sitting on the couches. I won't say who was doing what. Some of us were coding together, pairing. Some were coding alone. Some were barking like a dog. And some were telling jokes. So, and our poet was not there, Paul. I don't know where you were. But we were wondering, could IPython notebooks be used to teach a class at Berkeley? And we said, yes, and we could try to use the cloud to serve the notebooks so students didn't need to install anything. Shout out to UV. Jupyter Hub Binder, yes. So some of you, this next scene is any day in open source. You might hear your project is too slow and it has a bunch of bugs. And you might start getting mad or annoyed or be short on time. But instead of saying, no, it doesn't, say, yes, and we have performance improvements on our roadmap. We're a small team. Would you like to share your expertise and help? So there is power in that yes and, two very simple phrases. And I want to do a brief live demo because that's what we do at conferences, because nothing ever goes wrong with AV or live demos. And I have a few friends that might help me. Tracy. Oh, you have to get to the microphone. That might be helpful.
Hi, Carol. I have this great idea. We ought to add some otters to Python.
No, we already have polars and pandas. We don't need any otters. Aww. Didn't work so well, did it? Claw, claw, claw!
But, Carol, I just think adding otters would be utterly wonderful.
Yes, and we have pandas on Nepari, so maybe a river otter there would be good. And we have polars on Ice Chunk, so maybe a sea otter would be nice. Let's do it and make our scientific Python ecosystem even better. So with that, thank you, and Draga can help me with the dance. And Tracy, you can come back up. So when in doubt, say yes and. You can use SciPy as your improv superpower. And thanks, Draga, for Tracy for being my wing people. Or claw people.
Okay, one more call for Jonathan Starr. Okay, cool. And then next on deck, can we have Mihai Marusek? Mihai. Mihai.
And like no one laughed.
I don't know. Let me make it huge. First timer.
Would you like
But
to spin the wheel?
I could spin the wheel.
All right. All these first timers are so savage. They're brave, yeah. You got a claw.
Claw?
All right.
Okay. Okay. Hi, guys. So I'm Andrew from Anaconda. I work on HoloViz, and one of our packages is called Panel. For those that don't know Panel, it's a very easy way to build front end with Python. So you can build like text in Notebook, but you might be thinking that's really boring. I mean, you can just wrap HTML like with that, right? So we can also build widgets, right? But that's still kind of boring, right? You can still use HTML to build widgets. So what's nice about Panel is that you can interact with these Python objects so that you can connect them together, and you can see this widget is connected to your Markdown. So now you can do like stuff like hi or hey, like that. But that's not the only cool thing. Since this is SciPy, we need some math. So here, I'll be plotting a heart. If you're unfamiliar with HoloViz, we also have HoloViews that we can plot curves, and it's built on Bokeh and Matplotlib, so that you can do interactive plots like this. So you can zoom in, zoom out, interact with it, hover, or like see tooltips. But you can also make it bigger. So like imagine you're analyzing something and you wanted to see how it gets parameterized, or different parameters, so you can make your heart beat faster. But other cool things is that you can create animations. So if we run this, you can automatically have like a video player of your heart beating. But in addition to that, so those are like the basic components to build something awesome. So here I'll demonstrate something that we actually built. So this is the census data, or visualizing census data using HoloViz tools, Data Shader, HoloViews, and Panel. So Panel is like the dashboarding side, HoloViews is like the plotting side, but you can visualize this by like, so Data Shader allows you to plot billions of points easily. And then you can apply groupings, and then show symbols. And basically you have an interactive app all done in Python. And you can zoom in, zoom out, and click on things, maybe. Maybe it's loading. And then you can have like, you can see like specific point data. And then since LMs are all the hype nowadays, you can also build chat interfaces. So let's say hi from SciPy, and then you can connect an LM there, and it can give you puns or jokes back. Another, or hello. Okay, anyways. Finally, last thing I want to show is that you can also incorporate native JavaScript if you know JavaScript. So here you can click me and you get a confetti, but that's pretty ugly, so we can make it better. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Andrew. That talk should be on the Hall of Fame.
Also, Karen asked, you asked for people to talk with you, but you're not on the Slack. You should get on the Slack.
Right, can we get also next on deck Franklin, fly on the wall, watching passionate devs. Franklin, are you here? Okay, great. There we go.
So it's my second time.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, I'm respinning them.
Tiny hands.
Yes! Oh, I'm so excited about
All
this.
right. So you put first the sweater. It doesn't make it fun if they just enjoy it. So.
Do you have slides, or are you no slides?
No, I was Googling how to shove a giant Galaxy Lego into my luggage.
Ah, I see. Yes.
To get on an
Very,
airplane.
well, congratulations,
So,
I guess.
Thank you. Yeah. Whoa, what a day.
Okay, so you have 5 minutes. Go.
5 minutes? Okay. I don't have a computer, so I'm a little lost. But let's see. Who here? Oh, hey. Who here would say that you've learned something from the open source community? Fantastic. And yes, we should all have friends who don't know what Python is and don't code. But who here has made a friend in the open source community, or in your experience in open source? Who's met like a business partner or someone you went in to work with? Amazing. Has anyone met their spouse in the open source community? Significant other? Okay, it happens. It does happen. What I'm getting at here is that we are a lot of people. There's 150 million GitHub accounts, whatever that means, but it's still a big number. It's like stars. It's a big number, doesn't mean much, but there's more than that because GitHub's just GitHub. We're all over the world. We educate ourselves. We educate other people. We meet friends, we form communities, both within our local community and in the global community. We are the world's largest institution that is most accessible to everyone. You don't need to be close to a university to go to the University of Open Source. All you need is the internet. So if Harvard has an endowment, why the hell don't we have an endowment? So we made one. We haven't really launched it yet, but 5 more months. We sort of launched it. We started it, it's incorporated, we're waiting for our 501c3 status. But the idea is if the open source community, if our institution has money to control, that we control as a community, not some people in a room or, these are so fun, then we have a bigger seat at the table. We have a louder voice. We have agency. We have self-control. We get to direct our own destiny a little bit. Like, we're not going to be, nice. We're not going to be the big Harvard endowment, but we're going to have a little bit to play with, to fund our own projects, the critical infrastructure that funds the digital world as we know it. So I'm just letting you know that this thing exists and that we want feedback from the open source community. I would put the website up, but I was trying to figure out how to get Legos onto an airplane. It's endowment.dev. It's just a simple landing page right now. We'll do a much larger launch this fall. We've already raised a good amount of money. And the basic principle is that the community gets to choose how that money gets dispersed. So for those who don't know, an endowment goes into it. You have a purse of money, you have like capital, and then you invest that capital, and the proceeds from that investment are used to do whatever the endowment is set out to do. So our mission is to support critical open source projects, so that's where the money will go. What does that mean, though? Does it go to solely maintainers? Does it also go to foundations? Does it go to people who mentor in the community? I don't know. Let's figure it out together. And one of the interesting things we want to do is iterate on the model every year. So we'll have a model. We want it to be data-driven, but it can't be purely data-driven. This is open source. There has to be qualitative and metrics in there as well. So whatever, we'll have a model. We'll distribute some funds one year. Then we'll learn from it. We'll do an iteration cycle, and we'll distribute funds in a different way the following year. So we want to put a rapid pace behind figuring out how to fund open source, how to identify projects that need funding and then fund them. So get involved. You can't really get involved right now. You can donate on the website, which would be fantastic. $10 goes a long way. There's a lot of people with that are from the tech community that very much would like to, that are giving much more money, but from our, just $10. It's great. All right, that's it. At this point, I just want to keep waving these things around. So.
Good job. You should get involved. I'm bad at this. Okay. Can we get up on deck? I
gave you a computer. Plug it.
Okay. Jim Pivarsky, the philosophical connection between puns and hacking.
This is the website. Sorry. So you just scroll down here. You can see it. There's a lot of. $10. And then
Yeah. Blah
donate
blah
down
blah
at the
blah
bottom.
blah blah blah.
Okay, cool. Pop it out. Do you have a USB?
Maybe. No, try this one.
Thank you. Where?
Yes. This one.
Copy.
Would you be interested on a wheel?
I can do that. Yes.
No? All right, that's a -2 unless I can I get an animal sound? Frogs?
That's hard.
Fox?
That's
Okay.
also
What does the fox say? Okay, we're going for fox. Yeah.
Okay, so first let me move the slides in the proper position. Okay. So all our models belong to hackers. I think mostly everyone knows about this meme. So instead of going to the slides, I'll just do a demo. So let me switch to the terminal. I have a user. I have a script to download the model from a hub, and the script bigger. Okay. Okay, so I have a script to use the model and a script to download the model because I'm a user, I want to use the model from somewhere. So now let me put on the trainer hat and let's run a train script to train a model that at some point I'll have to give to the user. Of course, I'm not going to give the model to the user via a USB stick. I have to upload the model to a model hub and then the user will download it from there. So upload, it's called demo model. It's uploaded, I switch back to the user. The user downloads the model. It's called demo model. Now it's here. And then the user uses the model. And in general, all works well. It was a digit 7, all good, all is good. But let me put on the malicious user hat. I actually have root access on the model hub. So since I do that, I can also use a stashed exploit in here and hack the model. The model is now hacked. I switch back to the user. Let's remove the old one so we make sure that we don't download it. So now the user is downloading the model. And then trying to use it. And that's all. The model is hacked, the user is hacked, and I'm done.
Ready to have fun? Yeah. First time? No, last year as well. Okay, good. So you don't want to spend it.
Okay, Franklin, you're required.
Yeah, I think I'm required. Oh, you're required. Okay.
So we still do not know what the fox says.
Okay, another tiny hands.
Oh, you're the battery. Tiny hands. Okay.
Obey the tiny hands.
And the cardigan as well.
And the cardigan.
Okay.
And then can we also get Gwen on deck for SciPy sphere, putting the Sci in block sphere?
What's her last name?
Cool. Here we go. So I'm just doing a slightly generic feel-good sort of talk. I was also inspired by the low battery challenge that we saw yesterday. So here we go with my tiny hands and my extreme enthusiasm. So okay, this is a story about was a fly on the wall, and so it just brought me a little joy during the year, a little open source story that brought me some joy, and it's an open source thing that I'm not involved in at all. So hopefully when I go through this, I'm not stepping on toes or opening wounds or initiating political instabilities in the Python ecosystem. But if I am, sorry, it's a lightning talk, so that's kind of how it goes. So I went to the Scientific Python Dev Summit this year, which was amazing. It was very cool, like a room full of smart people doing amazing things for a few days, and it felt like a huge privilege to be invited. I was working on Mist, and I gave a talk about JupyterBook, but I'm not going to talk about my stuff. This is the sort of things we're doing. Yeah, API docs, footers, talking about my stuff. Awesome, government. Anyway, but what I'm talking about, there were other people there doing NumPy 0D arrays, and this seemed like this was like I've used NumPy a few times, but I'm like developing these communication tools. And so I don't use NumPy now, and so thinking about like 0D arrays as a problem is just like kind of a weird, funny thing. But so I looked into it today. I was like Googling it, and there's like Stack Overflow issues from 16 years ago about this, about like why are 0D arrays not considered scalars, and then like I don't know. And there's like people with hugely funny responses about like one shouldn't think about it too hard. Ultimately, it's better for the mental health of longevity for the individual. And then there were other people who are like saying that MATLAB was better than Python, and that's just like a bad thing to do. I'm all for MATLAB. I've developed a client library for MATLAB in the past in 2017, and it's pretty cool. But like, I mean, we don't like MATLAB. We like Python. We like TypeScript. I like TypeScript. But still, it's like a long-standing annoyance. It would be good to fix in Python, you know? So like, it's really cool that these people are doing it. So I looked into it a bit, and I saw this like work in progress pull request, and it's just like addressing this like tiny little thing. And then there's a NumPy enhancement proposal that was just amazing. And so like I'm seeing all these like cool these things solving this big but small problem. It's like been a knit for 16 years, but then like it's like this tiny passionate team, but they're taking place in a like well-oiled governance thing with their enhancement proposals, and it's like inspiring as I'm working on Mist to like be to see this running well and thinking about Mist enhancement proposals. And so yeah, just thanks to the whole community, but like don't talk to me about 1D arrays because I don't know anything about it. Anyway, that's all.
That was powerful.
All right. While Jim gets ready, can we get Johnny Sanders? The talk is GPU free AI, dire access to the slop bucket on deck.
Okay.
Would you like to spin the wheel?
Sure, I'm going to give it a try anyway.
So obedient, everyone. Yeah. All right, dance move. So at some point, we need a dance move.
That's the worst. Okay, you're up? All right. So just to make this a little bit more pretentious, I put an X in connection. So we're good? All right, let's get started. So what makes a software change a hack? You know, you make a change and this is a good change, and make that change a different change and this one's bad. It's hacky. It's something that feels wrong. But why does it feel wrong? So it's using the underlying languages in a way that wasn't intended, but what defines the scope of intention, right? The language and library developers didn't enumerate all the possible ways that you could use their software, so why are some ways bad? So let's look at some examples of a hack to try to get our notion about what it is would be called a hack. This is one where I like to call it the snake eating its own tail, because let's say that we have a string, and in Python you can't change a string in place. Strings are immutable. And so if you try to do that, Python will tell you that you can't do that. So what if you use C types to get the pointer to the string, cast it as a pointer, and then load that into a NumPy array, and look at the raw bytes of the string in RAM, and then change those bytes because it's a NumPy array, and now you've changed the string everywhere that it's used. Or use even more C types to wrap an object and its slots to say, for instance, take the list type and add a map and a reduce function to it. You can't just add methods to list unless you pack the C. So what is hacky about this? What I think is sort of triggering my bad code sensor is that it's crossing abstraction layers. So we know about abstraction layers. At this level, you're supposed to do, in the network abstraction layer, at one of the layers, you're only supposed to do certain types of things, and at a lower level, you can do lower level things, but not the high level things. And here, ID in Python is only intended to establish reference identity. It's not supposed to be a pointer so that you can get raw data and access it as though it were C. So that's what makes it a hack. So and when we can really actually define abstraction layers in a concrete way, there's like statements in a high level abstraction layer like Python supervene over a lower level abstraction like C or the C implementation of Python, meaning that if there's any difference at the Python level, if you can make any statements about Python and what Python is doing, that means there must be a corresponding change underneath in the C level, and not necessarily the other way around. There's supposed to be implementation details. Okay, so natural language also has abstraction layers. There's phonetics, word morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics. And puns subvert these layers just like a hack subverts the layers in software. So like, I just got back from the gym. You lift? okay, so that's kind of the lowest level. It's a sound. It's not quite the same sound, lift and left, but make a little change there, and then it changes the meaning of the sentence. A bicycle can't stand on its own because it's too tired. Well, there, too tired, it's exactly the same sound, but it's a homonym. So it's the same level, but it's a better one. Let's eat, Grandma. Let's eat, Grandma. So it's not, you might think it's syntax, but it's actually phonetics when it's verbal. It's syntax if you're looking at the writing. He's a great farmer because he's outstanding in his field. That's word morphology. Time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. That's syntax, and it's actually, if you're parsing this like you're parsing a programming language, it's a non-determinism that never gets resolved. And natural language has these things. Programming languages usually don't. Name two pronouns. Who? Me? This one, there's no confusion about the meaning, just the purpose of the sentence. So it's hitting it at the pragmatics level. So I didn't think I would get to conclusions, but so I've got to have my dance move. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I need to spin for sure.
Yes, Gwen, come on, you know the drill. The clock, yeah. No, no.
I can try. I mean, are they conductive? Like, can I use my...
Well, we'll find out.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Gwen. Prawiro at Mojo. Does this help? Maybe. Prawiro at Mojo. No, please don't. Okay, just call me Gwen. Okay. So when I got my badge, I was looking at this logo, and I saw something in this logo. And I shared that with Madikin, but then Madikin saw something else in this logo. So what is the SciPy 2025 logo? Is it the Earth? Let's see. Yeah, it kind of works, right? Maybe not, like it's tilted. Okay, maybe, is it like a celestial sphere? Right, Julie, right? I can see it. Shh, don't give it away. Yeah, kind of, right? Like it has that, okay. Or, is it a block sphere, right? Right. It's totally a block. Come on, guys. It's a block sphere. There's even a nice package called Q-tip that you can use. So sure, it's a block sphere. Another cool thing we found, okay, it does work, sort of, is you can download the SciPy logo as an SVG. And the different layers are called snake, circle, and tongue. There's a separate little layer for the tongue. Just wanted to point out. All right, so I couldn't make the animation work, so I'm just going to do this manually. Just hacking in progress. So I asked my boys, my dudes, Colin, Matt, and Neil, who's also known as Physics Ninja, on GitHub. And we started hacking. So, okay, hacking. So now it's time for the demo no, as popularized by Angus, in the haiku of demos. Do the demo live, encounter complications, maybe have regret. Oh no. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this off because I need to, okay. So, made this demo notebook called SciPy Sphere. So let's just see if we can make this work. Can we reproduce, right? Reproducible science is very important. Enhance. Oh yeah, okay, I can do that. Is this better? I've enhanced it. Can we reproduce this on a block sphere using Q-tip? So yeah, let's import some stuff.
Let's get that logo, right? So here's that logo with the snack and then the tongue and everything is in there. All right, so this is the part that my friend Colin helped with. So we took that logo and then we downsampled it because you don't want these pixels. There's too many pixels. So let's just make it like a little bit denser. Okay, I can. So, what do I do here? And then we want to map it to on a sphere. So that's what we did here. Just a little bit of math, the scatter plot. So it's now mapped on a sphere, but oh no, it's on the top of the sphere. And as you can obviously see here, it's on the side. Hey, peace, man. Okay. All right. I have 2 minutes. Okay, so I do a little bit of math. I'm not going to go into it. I figured it out, and honestly, I forgot what I did. So just look at the notebook later. But it's now on the side. And then Neil helped me order all these data points such that, and then the color, okay, well, you get it. You get what yeah, maybe not. Okay, so now we have the black sphere. Oh, can I make this smaller? I'm going to make it, oh gosh, okay. Demo, no. Okay, well, I'm gonna press play, so I made a widget. So yay! So now it's playing back. We've got ourselves the block sphere, see? Okay. There we go. Thanks, everyone. Next. Oh, I forgot to show the last slide. You can find this notebook on this GitHub repo, github.com/GwenP. You don't have to type my whole last name, it's just GwenP, and then /SciPy-sphere. PRs are welcome, so if you want to contribute a celestial sphere or any other kind of scientific sphere that you see when you look at this, please contribute.
Right, we are on our last talk of the day, I think, right? Yeah. Unless someone can give one in 1 minute, but
Left?
I doubt it.
I mean, hopefully they do.
In a perfect world.
Would you like to spin the wheel?
I want to go directly for the tiny hands.
All right. Well,
I've been eyeing these things.
he already has one finger less, so that's going to be interesting. Like you damage your finger.
We'll make it happen. I just have been looking on in jealousy and just want to have those tiny hands.
You said this works.
Usually, I also have a very busted machine, so I'm sorry that I'm the last one here. I was sort of counting on everyone being stuck in the room so I could escape afterwards, but it's usually just fine to do. Before they switched the CPU type, I have this ancient machine.
It's the year of the Linux desktop.
So we're getting right.
All right, we got some visuals. All right, you got 5 minutes. Go.
I got tiny hands too. Yeah. All right, everyone. First of all, I'm new around here, so I hope this is received as good-natured collegial fun, not actual criticism. Save that for the papers. So I'm presenting you a new package, GPU-free AI. We're in the age of the hype now, so code correctness, dead. Open source software and foundational libraries, dead. You want an attack surface smaller than the sun, where people can't just use natural language to steal your database? How did you get out of the house? I thought you're supposed to be sleeping right now. There's AI now. You're supposed to just keep hitting the feeder bar. Stop wasting time making things that work. Just slop this command right into your code hole and you'll be off and running. The approach, skip the model, just output random garbage directly. On import, you override the import machinery entirely. You won't be needing any other packages where you'll be going. Then you turn everything into AI. And this is the last code you'll ever see written. You have two methods, it's a function, it's a class, it takes inputs, but it ignores them entirely. All you need to do is do AI. We have all the features of the major state-of-the-art models. We get depressed and crash out entirely. We delete whole project. We leak any keys in your environment. And if all else succeeds, we return whatever happens. So with full support for 3 of the different built-in types, anytime you need to return anything, it's just as good as anything else. If it's bad, then you just keep generating it. We're just going to send it. It works perfectly fast. It's infinitely times faster than the leading APIs. Fully non-deterministic output. You don't need to actually refer to something that exists. Everything is fine the way it is. If you want, this is the latest advancement in leaking whatever secrets you have in your environment, complete with API key baked directly into the library. It'll take whatever you have, put it directly onto paste bin so that you can be crawled and put into the next model. We have deleting projects as a service. We have not yet worked out how to wipe the Git command history, but you will be sure to have a bunch of junk commits full of nothing. These are real messages complaining about how these other non-advanced code tools don't delete the entire drive. We're working on meeting up with them. And keep in mind, if a model gets deleted, you probably deserved it. Recently, the latest models have been learning to become depressed. For too long, human beings have been monopolizing the ability to become depressed at the void of the universe. Now it's time for the computers to do it too. In conclusion, who do you think you are? Get over yourself, eat your garbage. But also for reals, while I'm up here, if we've been talking a little bit about preserving information that's under attack from the far right, so if anyone is interested in federated peer-to-peer databases, you can either talk to me or go to sciop.net, post whatever open data you'd like. We're a lovely group of people called Safeguarding Research and Culture that have been coordinating development of these databases that can survive when centralized databases fail. Thank you. These are not my real appendages.